Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of our Buffalo Bills podcast. Today, we will be discussing the Bengals game coming up this weekend. Now, welcome my friend Adrian.
What's up?
All right. So, Adrian, what do you think the key factors are for the Bills to win this weekend?
Uh, so obviously this is a big game because it's the Bengals. They're a good team in the AFC that we need to keep. That it's just super important for playoff seeding and all that, and it's going to be difficult because remember last season in the playoffs they completely dominated us on both offense and defense. So I think mainly we need to get out off to a strong start and play like we are the better team because I mean whether or not that's true, we need to play like we want to win the game and that we can win the game. We need to go into the game with like a strong game plan and ready to win. I think that that's mostly down to coaching as well. So yeah, I think that it's going to be tough, but yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need Allen to have a big game because these last couple of games he
Yeah.
hasn't been good enough. So, if he doesn't play well, we're not going to win, especially since we didn't trade for any wide receivers. So hopefully Allen could carry the team, maybe throw a good couple passes to Diggs, and yeah, hopefully we could go on from there. What do you think how do you think our defense could stop Joe Burrow? Because, he's obviously a really good quarterback. What do we need to do to stop him?
So I'm not super familiar with their offensive line. I'm not so sure if it's that good. I think it's average, but I think with the players that we have, I think the strength on this defense is the D line because even though I think Daquan Jones is going to be out for this game, I still think we have enough players to really shut down Burrow and like mainly on the D line. I think shutting down the run game will be important because their only real running back is Joe Mixon, and he's a he's good, he's very good, but I think that if we're able to like minimize their run game and make their offense one dimensional by making Burrow like have to throw to Chase. Higgins isn't really doing that much this year, so trying to force him to throw to Chase, I think that that would be like a good way to stop them. I don't know. What do
Yeah,
you think?
yeah, I agree. I think if we could the run game, I think we should be able to stop, hopefully. I think a key would be to you know, double team Chase. Hopefully we could, if Chase doesn't do anything, I think we should be able to prevent prevent like a lot of them from having a lot of big plays because Chase is Burrow's main guy. So, uh, yeah, we gotta hopefully stop Chase. We could stop the run. Hopefully T. Higgins won't beat us. Um, yeah, I think. The key to this game, though, is I think Allen. Our defense, I think our defense will be able to allow under maybe 25 points. I think that's if we could allow like 20, hopefully Allen could, play well and we could win the game from there.
Yeah, I do agree. I think that 20 points, I think we should be able to hold them to. I think that'd be a good place. I also think that Allen, yes, is gonna have to have like a really good game because as we know, Burrow, he's well, I don't think he's better than Allen, but I do think he's very good. He's definitely elite, and we can't really let him we can't really let him outplay Josh Allen. Josh Allen needs to outplay Burrow. He needs to score more points because also it's like just super important for your quarterback to show up in these kinds of games when it's like a big team, big like away from home, like getting this win, like an Allen, like putting the team on his back. I think that'd be very important.
Yeah, I agree. I think another key to this game could be um we know that Allen likes to throw to Diggs a lot. I think a key maybe find another guy who could, throw to because you can't just rely on one receiver. Um, if we could, maybe Gabe Davis could have a good game or something. Yeah, if he could if Allen and
Yeah,
Davis could, form a connection here, I think we'll win the game because I don't, you can't just rely on one wide receiver, one guy to like make all your catches. And maybe James Cook could run the ball a little bit. If he could have a couple big plays, we should be able to score. I think we'll be able to score some points off them. I'm worried about stopping Joe Burrow, and I'm worried about like how Allen looks because obviously he hasn't been great, but I do think we should by the end of the game be able to score at least like 21, 3 touchdowns at least.
yeah, definitely. I also think that like you said, Gabe Davis specifically, he's gonna need a show up today. Like he usually shows up in big games. Like he usually tends to have good games. Like I mean, we all remember 2021 Chiefs game, divisional round where he had 4 touchdowns. But I think that he's gonna need to like step up today and really show like why he can uh he can be a number two wide receiver. I also think that Dalton Kincaid is going to need to be integrated in this offense because last he had a really good game last Thursday, and I I think that if we really get him going and Davis and Diggs, of course, I think that like it's going to be hard to stop us, especially if Josh also has a good game. Um, to me, though, it's also down to like coaching. I'm worried about Ken Dorsey because uh, again, it's all if we like start the game well. We need to like put them under pressure, and I'm just worried that Ken Dorsey isn't going to be able to do that.
I agree with you. I do believe that I'm also worried about the coaching here, just because the Bills overall have looked like they're not ready to play, which is, that's on Sean McDermott for not being able to, get them ready at the beginning of games, especially like the last couple games. They look good in the second half, but bad in the first half. That's on McDermott. I'm also worried about some of the offensive plays we're running. I don't think we're doing a good enough job, integrating multiple pieces other than Diggs. And I think we're running the same play too many times. Um, I think defensively, in terms of coaching and just personnel, I think we're fine there. Um, Stopping Joe Burrow will definitely be a challenge as he's a great quarterback, but I'm not too worried about, I think we'll be able to stop them enough. I think the thing I'm most worried about is how Josh Allen plays, and I guess I would say stopping Jamar Chase too because he's a very good wide receiver, but I think we could stop Joe Burrow, especially since Burrow has not looked great this year. He's he's been sluggish. So when you look at this game now, obviously we're getting closer to the end of the season where each game gets more important. Looking at this game, this is such an important game for the Bills because when you look at the standings right now, we're not only are we one game behind the Dolphins, and the team that the Dolphins will be playing this week is the Chiefs. So if we win, you would think we'd be in first place. That's the first thing. Second thing is that the Jets are breathing down our neck too. They're only half a game behind us. This week the Jets are playing on Monday. The Chargers, who again are not, I don't think they're a great team. So it's an important game for divisionally wise, but also for the playoffs, just wild card wise, if we don't win the division. Because when you look at the standings right now, the first wild card is Pittsburgh with the 5 seed, then us with the 6 seed, then the Browns the 7 seed, then the Jets with the who have the 8th seed right now, and the Bengals have the ninth. But the Browns, Jets, and Bengals are all 4-3. So I think the Steelers and Browns rather are both going to drop out. And if we want to win this game, so we have the tiebreaker over Cincinnati because they usually peak later in the season, so we don't want to like not have the tiebreaker here, have the same record as them, and then potentially either miss the playoffs or get a lower seed and have a tougher matchup. Like, you know, we don't want that. So this is an important game for us, a really important game. We have to win here.
I agree. It is for sure an important game, like super important because like you said, the Chiefs are playing. I mean, the Dolphins are playing the Chiefs. So I feel like if we can get this win, and the Dolphins also lose, because it's very likely that they'll lose to the Chiefs. I think that like Chiefs are very good, and obviously it's very likely that Miami drops that game. And so if we can get this win, then like the division is absolutely still in play, and I think it's actually very likely that we'll get the division. So yeah, for sure, like this win will mean a lot for that. But I also saw like the odds or something for our playoffs. If we win, like our percentage to make the playoffs is like 81, and then if we lose, it's 50 that will make the playoffs. So it's super important, like because if we lose, then we're 5-4, and well,
Yeah,
that's not
barely over
yeah
500.
exactly, and
So,
you definitely need to like be above well above 500 if you want to like be a good playoff team, like and make the playoffs. So
right. And also key is like it would be so much better if we could win the division here because we don't want to have such high pressure games towards the end of the season, especially, it's probably gonna be snowing in Buffalo, so it could lead to some of our top guys getting injured. Um, it would be huge if obviously, according to the stats you just gave, if we win this game, I think our chances of making the playoffs increase significantly. Um, Based on really this game is a huge game, obviously. All right, now looking at the trade deadline, the Bills acquired cornerback Rasul Douglas in a trade with the Packers, a defensive player. What impact do you think he could have on this game for us?
so he'll definitely have a impact because if he's gonna get like playing time, if he's gonna get like on the field a lot, he'll definitely be important because we are down a lot of defensive backs due to injury, and obviously Kyrie Elam, our first round pick, has not been playing well. Like I mean, he hasn't been playing at all, and like it just doesn't seem he's good. So if he can get on the field and like offer like kind of like a second, our second best corner like for this game. I mean, I don't know what he's gonna play. He might play safety, but like I think that him and Benford, who I think is gonna be available, like he's like they're gonna need to do a really good job on Chase and Higgins, and I feel like bringing in a veteran guy like Rasul really helps with that. Um, yeah, I think that he'll be important for us.
I agree. We had to give up um a third round pick to the Packers and a fifth round pick for him. Who knows? Maybe he could come over here, have a big game, energize like the rest of the team. Because right now, we need some energy here. Hopefully, he could bring that to us. Um, if obviously right now we're struggling right now in terms of the amount of injuries we're having. So yeah, hopefully he could come over and uh do a good job on one of their top wide receivers, whether it's Higgins or Chase. We'll see. He definitely, I agree. I think he'll definitely make a positive impact because I don't think he's a bad player. Um, we'll see. So, Adrian, what do you think um the final score of this game will be, and who do you think wins?
So honestly, I'm gonna predict Buffalo wins because even though like I don't think we're favored. I don't think we're favored, but I think that this is also like a good like get back game because I feel like a lot of the Bengals players I don't know like they're talking crap kind of a little bit like they think that they're way better than us, which I don't think is true. I think that the Bills are going to turn up today. I mean, tomorrow, and I feel like I feel like we're going to have a good performance. I don't know. It's just a gut feeling because like it's going to be tough because the Bengals are a very good team, and we've definitely struggled like last season to beat them. But I'm gonna go 27-24 Buffalo.
I agree. I think I think Allen's gonna show up for this game because especially
Yeah,
like Allen usually shows up pretty. He usually shows up in these primetime games, and this is an 8 o'clock game Sunday night against the Bengals for and to clinch a playoff spot potentially. This is a huge game. I'll say that I think the Bills are gonna win. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game though, because I think
Yeah.
our defense will struggle to stop um Burrow and specifically Chase, as I mentioned earlier. I'm gonna say that the Bills will win. I'll say 38 to I'll say 38 to 31 Bills. Um, hopefully we could win, especially since considering the rest of the division is in the position they're in. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. This has been the first edition of our Buffalo Bills podcast. We'll see you later.